Elon gives us a production update, Model 3 gets its first safety rating, as well as has its first hypermiling mark set, and we see Tesla begin its China strategy. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 404 for May 16th, 2018. We begin today's show at Electrek, where they've nabbed another company-wide email from Elon. He's been sending a lot of these lately, a sign to me of exactly how active he's been in shepherding the company through this Model 3 ramp-up. Following on the heels from multiple points of evidence yesterday pointing to Model 3's production rate approaching 4,000 cars per week, Elon's message today provides solid evidence that they're pretty close to that number. Quote, "It's looking quite likely that we will exceed 500 vehicles per day across all Model 3 production zones this week," end quote. A little quick math there, and that puts the weekly number at 3,500 per week. I suspect that both of these reports are accurate, and that the number yesterday represents what the line can currently burst to. With 45 days left until the end of the quarter, this bodes well for the company to reach its 5,000 per week goal. Sticking with Electrek for the next story, safety testing results are beginning to trickle out for Model 3. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety, or IIHS, has released the first of its ratings for Tesla's newest model. These ratings relate to Model 3's ability to avoid a crash rather than its performance sustaining a crash. Model 3 was able to avoid a crash at both 12 and 25 miles per hour, earning it all 6 points in the test and picking up a superior rating from the organization in the category, the highest available. However, Model 3 only managed an acceptable rating on the headlights, a test that is notoriously difficult to receive a good rating on. This unfortunately means, at least for the moment, that Model 3 cannot receive IIHS's highest top safety pick plus rating, as cars must obtain a good headlight rating to do so. However, Model 3 does still qualify for the top safety pick rating, assuming it performs well in the other categories of testing. We flip over to Teslarati for the next story, where Model 3 has established its hypermiling mark to beat. Denver Tesla Club president Sean M. Mitchell set the mark at 515.7 miles over an 18-hour drive, beginning in Denver, Colorado, and ending in Topeka, Kansas on a single charge. While Sean had a fair bit of charge remaining, he decided to cut short the attempt and acknowledged that, as a result, should be pretty easy to beat. He cited poor route planning as the primary factor in being unable to reach his original goal to exceed 600 miles on the single charge. As to the details of the actual drive, Sean used cruise control at all opportunities at a 30-mile-per-hour setting. He enabled chill mode, dampening the car's acceleration, which is a smart decision as resuming cruise control brings the car back to speed at quite a brisk pace. He also elected to set regenerative braking to low, allowing the car to coast much better. So how about it out there, owners? Who's going to take this record from Sean? Lastly today, it would appear that Tesla has begun its official entry into China, though maybe not exactly in the way we all may have thought. The South China Morning Post reports that Tesla has set up a subsidiary in Shanghai that will focus on R&D related to electric cars, auto parts, batteries, and solar panel products. Interestingly enough, though, the report states that the company won't be involved in making cars. That's what the R&D part is there. We'll see what comes of this, as we all certainly expected any plant located in China to be building vehicles, and we get a report now that seems to indicate otherwise. You can check out the links to the full stories in the show description. While you're doing that, please consider supporting the show financially through Patreon at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. Thanks very much to our super patrons out there supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are John Waltauer, Drew Schuyler, John Waller, Mark and Sarah Thomas, Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Bruno Quindici, Joey Boots, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Adam Raymer Brown, Megawatt Photovoltaic Development, Todd Sullivan, Robert Healy, Mitch Long, and Zortec LED Canada. If you can't support with dollars, be sure to show your love with positive reviews and subscriptions on YouTube, iTunes, and other services across the internet. That's it for today's episode. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. I'll see everyone back here again tomorrow. Until then, keep it charged and hit the road.